Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, hold on a minute until I open my book so that you can see the page on which you are going to work.
Okay.
It's what? It's at page
grammar,
60.
right?
Yeah, grammar at page 64.
Okay.
Muhammad Khalifa, you see my screen?
No, teacher.
What about now? Huh?
No. Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have the compound complex sentence. I need you to read the direction first.
Okay. A compound complex sentence consists of two or more main or independent clauses and one or more subordinate clauses. A compound complex sentence is a combination of a compound sentence and a complex sentence. Look at these examples of a compound complex and compound complex sentences. Main clauses are underlined and subordinate clauses are double underlined. Compound, two or more main clauses. Wilma liked working at the studio, but Felissa thought it was boring. Complex, one main clause, one or more subordinate clauses. Wilman liked working at the studio because his job was interesting to him. Complex, two or more clauses, one or more subordinate clause. Wilmar, who liked working at the studio, hoped for a full-time job, but his boss was unable to pay him any longer. Practice A. Identify sentence types.
So Muhammad Khalifa, before we start with the practice,
Read each sentence.
is it clear? Wait a minute. Is it clear in your mind? What is a compound complex sentence? Can you paraphrase the explanation for me using your own words? What is a compound
Teacher, I
complex
didn't get
sentence?
it.
Excuse me?
I didn't get it.
Who is it?
Ibrahim Al Musa.
Ibrahim Al Musa. A compound complex sentence, it must have a main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. So there must be a main clause first, because it is necessary. A main clause is a clause that can stand by itself and gives meaning. And there must be one or more subordinate clauses. And a subordinate clause is always introduced by a subordinating conjunction. And we saw that in the previous course when we talked about a complex sentence. And a subordinate clause cannot stand by itself. Hold on a minute, please. So, and I said that a complex sentence, in a complex sentence, there is a main clause and a subordinate clause, and always the subordinate clause is introduced by a subordinating conjunction.
So it
The
cannot
subordinating
stand by
clause,
itself.
yeah, the subordinating clause cannot stand by itself, Let's have a look here. For example, when I say Wilmer, look at this example, the second one in the box, in the table. Wilmer liked working at the studio because his job was interesting to him. This is a complex sentence. Why? Because we have a main clause and we have a subordinate clause, and the subordinate clause is introduced by the word because, which is called a subordinating conjunction. And it cannot stand by itself, that part that is double underlined. For the compound complex, why is it called compound complex? Because it has a coordinating conjunction. And when we talked about the compound sentence, like that first one, and the compound sentence has two or more main clauses, we have at least two main clauses, and they are combined together using a coordinating conjunction and a comma, like this one, comma and but. And always
By
for a
fanboy,
compound,
right?
yeah, the fanboys. The compound sentence, always in the compound sentence, you must find a word that belongs to the fanboys or a semicolon. Okay?
Okay.
Today, our course is about the compound complex sentence. It means the compound sentence together with the complex one. All together, they make one sentence, which is called the compound complex one. Like the example here, Wilmer, who liked working at the studio, hoped for a full-time job. So here, the part that is double underlined, you can remove it from the sentence and the sentence still gives meaning, which means that it is a subordinate clause, that it is not a necessary part in the sentence, and it gives us only an extra information. And here we have a comma, then but his boss was unable to pay him any longer. This is another main clause, and it is added to the first main clause using a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Is it easy now? Is it clear for you?
Yes, teacher.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Muhammad Khalifa, where are you?
Practice A. Identifying sentence. Read each sentence on the line provided. Write whether the sentence is compound, complex, or compound complex. Example. Conchita.
Hold on, please. Wait a minute.
I heard a person saying
Teacher, we stopped at question 4.
Question 4.
We are going to restart from the beginning because last time we did that orally. Now we are going to write the answers. Yes, please.
Conchita felt ill after she ate an entire box of candy. Answer complex. Boris held the reins while Natasha got the brush. Natasha got the brush, but the horse kept moving.
What kind of a sentence is it? And explain. What kind of a sentence is it?
I think it's compound. Compound.
It's not a matter of thinking. So you need to think and you need to explain. Why did you think that it is compound? Muhannad Al-Gathami, are you there? Can you think about the sentence, Muhannad? And also, Ibrahim Al-Musa, what do you think of the sentence? Hanaki, Faisal Bghither, what do you think of that kind of that sentence? Huh?
Is it a compound complex?
Excellent. Why?
Because there's a but.
Yeah, this is because this is an explanation for the fact that it is a compound sentence. And why is it complex?
Because
of what? Always a complex sentence. Always a complex sentence must have a main clause and a subordinate clause. Is there any subordinate clause here in the sentence?
Mohanna says because of while.
Yeah, I have been looking at his answer, but I don't know. Oh yeah, his answer must be here. Because of while. Excellent. Because of while. Because of the subordinating conjunction while. So here, this part, while Natasha got the brush, this is a subordinating clause introduced by a subordinating conjunction while. That's why it is a complex. And this part is compound, so it is a compound complex sentence. Very good, Mohan.
Teacher, I still didn't get.
You said it?
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. Back.
No.
Okay, back up here. Muhammad Khalifa, hear me. Hear what?
Yes.
Listen to my explanation. So we said that simple. Let's start with a simple sentence. The simple sentence is a main clause that can stand by itself and it gives meaning, and you cannot omit any part from it, because if you omit a part, the sentence becomes meaningless.
This is the main clause.
Yeah, this is a main, because it is a simple sentence. It has only one main clause.
Okay.
Now we move to talk about a compound sentence. A compound sentence are two or more main clauses that are combined together using one of the words from the fanboys, the 7 words.
Okay.
And, for, but, so, yet, and nor.
Yep.
And or. Okay?
Yep.
Like the first example here, Wilmer liked working at the studio, comma, and the coordinating conjunction, but Alicia thought it was boring. This is a compound sentence. Then in the third course, we talked about a complex sentence. Complex sentence is different from the compound. Why? Because it has one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. There must be one main clause, but the subordinate clauses you can find more than one.
Subordinate.
Here we have an example.
Is the one you can omit, right?
Excuse me?
Subordinate.
Get closer to your mic. Get closer to your mic. I cannot hear you clearly.
Clause, the one that we can omit.
Excellent. That we can omit because it gives us extra information in the sentence and that cannot stand by itself. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
We have here Wilmer liked working at the studio. This is the main clause. Because his job was interesting to him, this is a subordinate clause, and you can omit it from the sentence. It gives us extra information, and it is introduced by the subordinating conjunction because. And we saw so many words. We have because, although, as soon as, so that, moreover, whatever, which, where, etc. The compound complex sentence is like a mixture between these two sentences that we have just seen, the compound and the complex at the same time. Why? Because we find a main clause, a subordinate clause, and then a coordinating conjunction that introduces another main clause. Is it easy? Muhammad Khalifa.
Okay, I get it.
You got it?
Yes, yes. I get it.
Okay.
I get it. Yes.
Okay. So the first one, we said that it is a compound complex because we have while. Natasha got the bracket. This is subordinating clause or the subordinate clause. And we have but the horse kept moving. This is another main clause that is introduced by a coordinating conjunction but. So it is a compound complex sentence. Next one. Number 2. Muhammad al-Gathami. Number 2 is compound. Angelica sent Harley a package on Tuesday. This is the first main clause. And we have another main clause. He received it on Friday, introduced by a coordinating conjunction. And before it, there is a comma, so it is compound. Excellent, Muhammad. Very good. So compound. Muhammad Khalifa.
But teacher.
Yeah?
We can't remove and he received it on Friday.
Did I that you can receive? Did I say that you can omit it? The part that you can omit. Listen to me. The part that you can omit is not in the compound sentence. The part that you can omit. Huh? Listen to me. I am talking the part that you can omit, and that it gives extra information in the complex sentence. But here we don't have a subordinating conjunction and we don't have a subordinate clause. Here we have two main clauses combined together by using a coordinating conjunction and. Is it clear?
Can I do question 3?
Number 3, Ibrahim al-Musa.
When we finally saw the Grand Canyon, we were astounded astounded by its beauty. A complex.
A
It's
complex
complex
sentence. That's right. Why? Can you explain?
because of uh by. No, finally.
How come finally? Listen to me,
No,
Ibrahim.
no, teacher. Can I say?
Ibrahim, always when you think about a complex sentence, there must be a main clause and a subordinate clause. Try to find where is that subordinate clause.
Can I say?
Oh, we
Muhammad
were
Ali.
astounded by the beauty. This is a supporting.
Subordinate.
A subordinate clause is a clause that cannot stand by itself because it is meaningless. But when we say we were astounded by its beauty, does this give meaning or not? It gives meaning.
Yes.
Muhammad
Yes.
Ali, what is the subordinate clause?
When we finally saw the Grand
Very good.
Canyon.
So this is the part. This is the subordinate clause because it is introduced by a subordinating conjunction when. So this is a complex sentence. Your answer is right, but your explanation is awkward. Complex. Next, please. Muhammad Al-Gathami. Muhammad Al-Gathami. Can you do number 4, please?
Can I do it?
Yes, please. I'm waiting for your answer, Muhammad. Give me a moment.
Sure.
Okay. Take your time. So here is the sentence. We feed our cows alfalfa, which is very high in protein.
Teacher, I think it's also complex.
Yeah.
Muhammad, he took a moment. I don't know what he's doing.
It's now going to give
Complex.
you a whole.
That's right, complex, because here we have which is a subordinating conjunction. So it is complex.
Can I do number 5?
Certainly, yep.
David works in Bastrop, where his clients are, and Teddy works at the capital. Compound complex
Explain.
because of where and.
Excellent. Compound complex sentence.
And is from the fanboys, and where is the
Very good. It is a subordinating conjunction.
conjunction?
Okay, move on to practice B. Ibrahim, where is Hanaki? I heard his voice at the beginning of the period, then he disappeared. Ibrahim Musa.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Teacher,
Hanaki, are you there? Hanaki.
Yes.
Yeah, can you read the direction, please?
Okay. Practice B. Writing compound complex sentences. Read the following compound sentences, then add a subordinating clause to each to make it a compound complex sentence.
Excellent. So
Example.
you're going to add a subordinate clause to make it a compound complex one. Because they are already compound, you need to add a subordinating conjunction and a subordinate clause so that you get a compound complex sentence. Yes, please. The example first. Hold on a minute. The example says, Evelyn caught a cold and then I got it. Then it became Evelyn caught a cold when she stayed out in the rain. So we added when she stayed out in the rain, which is a subordinate clause. And then I got it. So it is a compound complex sentence. First, Hanaki.
Irie has 3 older sisters and he is a bit spoiled. Irie has 3 older sisters.
What do they do for him? What do you think they do?
They spoil him.
No, normally. So it is some contradictory fact. So he has 3 older sisters. Normally they took good care of him, but he is spoiled. So what should we write here? Ire has 3. What do they do? I have had the answer. Yeah, Muhammad Khalifa. You were asking about number 2. Which number 2? Of practice A? Number 2, practice A, we said it is a compound sentence. So, I've has 3 older sisters. Can you give me an answer, Hanaki? Start subordinating conjunction using, for example, who. What do they do? Who? Arv has 3 little sisters. Who?
Older.
Huh?
Older. You said less.
Who older?
Yes. You said less.
Who?
What is Muhammad?
Who are annoying.
Who are annoying.
Yes.
Muhammad, what do you think of the answer? Normally, when someone has 3 older sisters, what do they do for him? They annoy him? Your older
Yes.
sisters or your older brothers, huh? Suppose that you are 5 years old and you have a sister or a brother that is 25 years old. Do you think that he's going to annoy you? Huh?
يدلع.
Who
مدلع.
help,
Yeah, he's
Take care,
spoiled.
will take care.
Yeah, very good. Who take care of him? Or who babysit him? Or who baby him?
Baby him.
Yeah.
How baby him?
Who baby him or babysit him? So it's the same.
teacher who baby him?
And he is a bit spoiled.
It's a bit awkward, teacher. Baby him.
No, Arab has 3 older sisters who baby him, and he is a bit spoiled. Though he has 3 little sisters that babysit him, that they take good care of him, they try to show him the right path. They would help us. What do you mean by they would help us?
They would help us? He means the 3 sisters who helped him.
Yeah, so Arab has 3 older sisters who help him,
Who helped
and he
him.
is a bit spoiled. Next, please, number 2.
He says, I meant that in the 3 sisters question.
Yeah. When I answered what would they do for him? Nice. Your answer is right.
Can I answer
Okay. Number 2, yeah, Muhammad.
the store sells CDs, but it doesn't sell DVDs. The store sells CDs, but unfortunately, it doesn't sell DVDs.
And what did you add? Did you add a subordinate clause? You didn't add anything. You add an adverbial of. So we said unfortunately. So this is an adverb. All what you did is that you added an adverb in the sentence. I meant that you increase. Yeah, I understood you, Mohammed. Huh?
Teacher, I have one. The store
Yes,
sells
please.
CDs, which I like, but it doesn't sell DVDs.
Again, the store sells CDs.
Which I like, but doesn't sell DVDs, which I don't.
Very good. So again, the store.
The store sells CDs, which I like,
Sells CDs.
which I like,
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't sell DVDs, which I don't.
But it doesn't sell. Mm-hmm. Next, please. Number 3, Muhannad. Can you think about it? I like a good job, or I like a good joke, but I am unable to tell one.
Teacher, the
Yes,
period
please.
finished.
Huh?
The period finished.
I will write the sentence and you will go.
Okay.
Be patient, Muhammad.
No, I'm just telling you.
I like a good joke, but I am unable to tell one. I find this hard. Okay, so it's quite easy. I like a good joke, which makes me laugh, but I am unable to tell one. It's quite easy. Or I like a good joke, which no one can tell, but I am unable to tell one. Or which everybody can tell, but I am unable to tell one. Okay, so I don't need to write it. I have just given the answer orally. Wish you a good time and see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
Thank you,
good day.
teacher, for explaining for
Welcome.
Thank you
us
very much.
the lesson.
Welcome.
See
So
you
much
tomorrow.
welcome. Thank you for your coming. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
What a good teacher.
And what good students you are.
Thank you.
Welcome.